Hello there, YouTube. We are back with some more matchplay commentary for y'all. I'm joined by the Brother Bear, the bald man with the plan, and the Kaiju King, TJ.
Do you think Yoshi Sudarso can pop a watermelon with his thighs?
You can pop my watermelon anytime if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, Ben, we just started. It's the beginning of the week. Goodness gracious. You're setting a precedent.
I don't know if it's going to get any better than that, but we'll see. Challenge accepted. Shout out Yoshi.
Shout out Yoshi. Shout out.
But we've got some matches for you guys as we continue our journey into the 2.0 meta. These matches did have some proxies, but we finally have, I think, the majority of like decks built with like actual product, as do most of our local boys too. So the rest of this week, I believe towards the end of it, should have some matches that are like fully 2.0 because we finally got our hands on product. If you haven't seen our box break, do check out that video, which I'll link it down in the video description below, along with our socials and all that good stuff for you to check out. Today's matchup features TJ on the left playing Millenniummon and myself on the right playing sort of like a blue hybrid source strip variant. So I've been having a lot of fun with blue hybrid again. It's nice to be able to like use the new pieces and try to find something that works. It's definitely a deck that's still, in my eyes, like developing, you know, as I kind of test the waters and see what goes with the meta and like all that good stuff. But it's definitely a very, very flexible deck. The guys in the blue hybrid Discord too, in Discord have been cooking up a lot of stuff. So shout out to you guys. And you, speaking of cooking, have been cooking with Millenniummon.
Yes. I like Wicked Gods. They go brrr.
It's a very exciting deck. Does a lot of things. I think only gets better with some more support. So hopefully you guys enjoy this matchup. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you do like the content, consider hitting the like and subscribe button, as we would greatly appreciate it. But enough chit chat from me. Let's hop right into the round over here.
Yeah, speaking of source strip stuff, that new Polarmon, by the way,
that stuff is pretty good.
that thing is pretty cool. Is that entire line vaccine?
I believe it is, which is scary.
Adamon about to make a comeback, baby. Don't call it a comeback. Anyways, pretty good starts.
We both have rookies. We both have trainings, which are pretty good. Go ahead and pick up a Deltamon.
Just getting some setup going. Go Delta on the back just to try and pass turn, not give you too much memory.
Yeah.
Because you're scary. Pengu.
We go Pengumon. I'm kind of missing Tamers here, which is a little rough, but I'm figuring, like, choke to 1. I know you need a little bit of time to set up as well. So I say, we'll see what you do. And you play Ragazi, which is a very good card in this meta now.
Yeah, it is insane. It's so funny how much, like, Floodgates go back and forth with being like the most relevant cards in the meta to being the most like pointless cards in the meta, like constantly.
Yeah.
Because like for so long, like they were so big for so long, and then come like BT 13, BT 14.
Yeah.
Like they were only kind of big with like vaccine, and that was really it. Hybrids also could run it too. Like Red Hybrid could run some.
Yeah.
And then they fell off again, and now they're back on. It's just like it's so crazy how they just sort of they wish wash.
But you're doing some pretty good work here. You're capitalizing off of sort of my slow start here. I did give you 3 with the Tommy playout, and then you're able to clear board, get out another Gizamon. But here we kind of showcase what Kuma is really good for. Evo for 2. When swinging, you can Evo into Corey for free. Corey will able to stun something and has a jamming check, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Which I think you stunned me off the Tommy already. And then I believe you stunned the Giza off of the Corey. And you go die pen here. Go ahead and delete me. I do go ahead and use the undeletion to pitch a card to delete the little rookie there.
Yeah. I think in hindsight, I was like, I probably could have swung with Beluga first, but I kind of got lost in this. Oh my.
Yeah, go ahead and grab a Gazi there and trash the rest. Losing the Wicked God Descends card is kind of tough. That is kind of tough.
But I really do like Daipen here. He's a big guy living. We go ahead and do the check, then we training to go into Hexablow for 2 to choke to 1, and then we bottom deck the Analog Youth. So, I mean, I'm sitting in a pretty decent spot here.
Yeah, you are cooking. And I think I was trying to find a 5. I think I was missing 5s entirely. From what I can see in my hand. I don't think I have a Chimera in there.
Did you commit?
Push up. Oh no, I do have. Oh, I have. All right, I have the wrong Chimera. That was my issue.
So yeah, we do see the new Chimera. What does he do again? I forget.
So on Evo, I can delete 1 Digimon to delete opponents level 3, 4, and 5 Digimon, and then on deletion, I can go ahead and delete a level 4 or lower Digimon in play. Let me make sure I did this right. Actually, I might have done it. I'm realizing now that I think I might have to have compositing traits, but I think it's just level 3 or lower. No, just delete one of your level 4 or lower purple or red Digimon, and then you may play 1 Machine Dramon from your trash without paying the cost. So I was able to play the machine. That is the BT19 machine, who on play deletes a level 5 or lower, but I did not have that obviously. So I do go ahead and just kind of hit him, and then I Evo into a Millennium here, just hard Evo, just go ahead and delete the Hexablow, because I needed to do something to control board.
Yeah.
And you go ahead and spit out Tommy, because Kuma's effect is very powerful. Strip the machine that is in my sources, and so now I'm just a big Millenniummon. I'm just a big guy.
Yeah, the ability for Kuma to play out pretty much any Tommy, and I feel like you get a lot of value off of BT7 Tommy, just being able to play out a Tamer from sources to strip 3 once again is huge. All the hybrids in general are great for that archetype, but I think particularly in Blue Hybrid, we see that being able to spit out your Tamers again is just crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Giving the recursion is so big. It's so big for them. I do get lucky here. I do just try and opt to Evo to try and draw a Moon Millennium, and I do top deck it here because I did not have it and I needed it so bad. I'll go Moon Millennium here. You are forced to trash cards in your hand, so you have 5 left. You get to pick. And then for every 2 cards you trash, I choose to delete 1 of your Tamers, which is pretty cracked. It's pretty nutty. I can only imagine how hard that would go against Imperial or something.
Yeah.
But I have to delete the Tommy, and because I figure Sword Joe is not really a problem for me right now, since I have a source now.
Yeah, I mean, Tamer, and I have to trash one. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Anytime another Digimon or Tamer is deleted, I trash top card of your security. And keep in mind, that's any Digimon. So that's my Digimon as well. Or my Tamers. So if something happens to one of my cards, I can do. Oh, there's Drell tossing me.
And just like that, the tide of the round, I think, or the time of the game at least, has changed, right? Like, you have something that's just sitting there right now that will do a lot of damage. You had good Tamer control, forced me to kind of basically lose a turn to play out another viable Tamer, because like you said, Sora Joe not as relevant right now. Yes, it's good for getting rid of sources, but right now it's just sort of a dead card on the board.
Yeah. Right now I'm debating what I want to do. I'm deciding if I want to go over Moon Millennium or not, if I want to leave it out with the protection. Sora Joe is a bit of a spooky bear.
And Delta being able to be a flexible card too is great. It's great for board control, as we've seen in purple base Lord Knight, being able to play that guy out. Then Heritable to give your stack blocker is also pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So it's just such a good card in general. Alright, so you Chimera here again and choke me to 1.
Yeah, I opt to Evo for 4 to put you to 1, because I was like, you know what? If I Evo for 3, what's my best way of passing turn? I don't really have a great one. I had the Z Millennium in hand, but I was in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather have a card on board that I can delete to punish you potentially. Or not punish. I guess I wouldn't be able to punish you really with what I have. But I'd rather leave a card on board to kind of protect my Moon Millennium if need be, than go into Z Millennium and not get any real value out of it. I do go ahead and block your swing there.
Yeah. The reason I swung was just because I was looking for a potential, just anything. I didn't really have a good option here. I think Zudo was my best bet. I drew into nothing, so I end up just
Yeah.
using
And
the
this
ability of Pengu to Source Strip off of Sorojo to help me give a bounce target.
Yeah, and this is a misplay on my part. You actually should have trashed security here. Because the Pengu died.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I should be
have been
I should be
trashed
a
here.
one security instead.
I go Z Millenni. I go ahead and Bob, which means I would have actually had game this turn too, because I could have swung Z Millenni, hard slammed a composite trait, and then swung for game with off overclock. Good to know. Good to know for me, because I did not see that play in this moment. I do go ahead and swing, do a chip, and I think I was sitting here thinking to myself too. I'm like, man, if I'd have swung and lived, maybe I could have had game this turn. I go ahead and play out a Gazi, get some search. I am able to grab a Millenniummon in name and a composite trait Digimon. And then I just go into a Deltamon here. I opt to pitch a machine to go ahead and grab back a Chimera. Just so I have maybe like a kind of a wide board clear if need be. And the end of turn, I go ahead and overclock and pop or do another swing as well and go ahead and check that last security there and choke you to 1, which is pretty good.
Yeah, we go ahead and use Tommy's effect to just pitch a card, and then I just say, go ahead. Play out a Diana.
Yeah. The old Ben classic. This is Ben's old faithful of well, game's probably over. I'll just harm slam a 6 and we'll see what happens.
We don't think about it, we just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. And I'm able to just go ahead and swing and bottom deck it. Man, that's actually crazy. I could have done that. I didn't realize that.
That's pretty good.
I've
done that in like big competitions too. I remember doing that at Nats last year. I did it on a few regionals as well, where like my opponent's like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, we had the memory.
It just works.
It just works. We just do it.
Sometimes that is just how the game works.
But yeah,
no, saying. I something like it's, and I've mentioned this. I feel like for the Moon Millenni, it's an effect that I always just forget exists because it's like it's at the bottom of the card. It already does like 2 other really big things that I'm always just like, oh yeah, and it trashes security too. This card does so much. But I even say this in the members first profile, which for those of you who are seeing this video, I believe this should be on Tuesday. That will be a public tomorrow. You guys will be able to see this deck profile tomorrow. If you're a member, you get to see it right now. The Millenniummon is probably the hardest deck for my brain to work around because there's just so many like different like ways. Like there's so many different avenues of play to get to your boss monster. That my brain just like loses track of like which one I should do.
Sure. There's a lot of very nuanced really cool combo plays for sure.
Yeah, it can get kind of crazy. It can get a little nutty. So you enter the Strawberry, drop a Tommy. It's a pretty good start. That Tommy just helps you generate memory. It's just good advantage on future turns.
Yeah. And you've got all the setup in the world there.
Yeah. I'm just going
scary.
Full setup bears, just trying to get things going here a little bit.
So we drop a train of our own, and then we just go into a Paildra in the back.
I was definitely overcomplicating how to get into Millenniummon at this point with the deck. I have now since learned a much easier way to do the things that I need to do. I mean, I don't think I had a Millenniummon in hand yet, so I wasn't going to be able to do it anyways, but I realized that I have overcomplicated it in my head for at least like one of the most basic ways to get into it. Might be one of the most expensive ways to get into it, but one of the most basic ways. But I need to be more mindful of it in the future.
Sure. But to summarize the turn here, we just pushed up the Paildra just to go ahead and swing. And like at this point, I think I had a lot of low end, but not a lot of top end. So I'm like, you know what? The stack is sort of like a dead stack anyway. Let's just go ahead, swing. Maybe we get a draw off of the Wondermon that helps us out. And then we go ahead and just play a Pengu just so that we can hatch another rookie in the back, hopefully next turn.
Yeah. I go ahead and go to a Deltamon here. Looking at cards to pitch. I do pitch a machine. That was a stupid pitch of mine because that was my like main combo piece that I could have gone to Millenniummon right now if I'd wanted to.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because I have the correct Chimera in hand, so and I had all the memory I needed to actually be able to play him and do the whole thing. and I had all the cards on board I needed to do it as well. I'm just a silly Billy. Just
It is crazy to see though, like now just with Millenniummon, a lot of decks that we're having now, right? Like even like the hybrid deck, right? Like with Susano, we've got decks like Purple Hybrid, like Lord Knight also, like, you know, we've talked about how like crazy the purple engine is, but it still requires a lot of like sequencing, you know, and good sort of effect knowledge of when and how to string along combos, which is really interesting to see. You know, I think it definitely takes like the expressiveness of the pilot is definitely there, I think, in this meta.
Yeah, I agree.
Kuma.
I do have to go ahead and just choke you because I was like, you know what, I'll wait for a more response sort of play here before I do anything else.
That choke
you
is
do
rough.
swing, strip the sources, go into a Corey here.
On Evo, I can go ahead and stun one.
Yeah, you do up to stun the Ghazi. Swing a check, hit a Chimera. You have jamming because big guy. You're training here. Evo into Old Faithful Die Pen for a cost of 1.
I think we're just clarifying Evo cost, and then I forget that when Chimera does die.
No, you're fine.
No.
The on deletion is you were thinking that I was gonna be able to do a Millenniummon play or something like that, and I was like, no, I have to have a Machine Dramon in play.
Yeah.
And that was just clarifying the analog youth doesn't proc because I don't have sources. So at this point, you choked me really well, and I definitely threw away a very good turn. I totally could have had Millenniummon on board, but that's really good to go. And then just totally could have punished a Die Pen play. But it is what it is. I learn. I am now more familiar.
Yeah, I mean it is early days, right? Like we're still learning the decks. We're still learning how to like pull off combo plays and string along things. And there's a lot going on with these decks. Which it looks like you play out the option card for 4. You go ahead and play out Chimera, Digicross there, and I mean that. Before you know it, he's back.
Yeah, play him for basically I pay 6 memory total here.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to delete to clear your board. I choose to delete him. To delete your Die Pen. I then go ahead and on deletion spit out a Machine Dramon from my trash without paying the cost. I play out the BT18 Machine Dramon. I want to play with just Digivolve things, but there's nothing to Digivolve, and I'm just sitting on that.
Sure.
It's pretty good.
Sure. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Not bad. And at this point, we're just sort of short on resources. Wait, did I just not pick anything up off the training?
I think you picked something out.
Okay.
I think you grabbed anything. You have to Evo, or you're not opt, but you do Evo into Pengu for 1.
And we go Pengu rush here.
Pengu
March of the
crazy.
Pengus.
At this point, I'm just trying to decide what I want to do. I do have the Millenniummon in hand, so I'm debating on just hard Evoing it.
Sure.
I do go ahead and push up Ghazi here. And I'm trying to decide how I want to clear board.
You've got a lot of options here. I mean, you've got pretty good setup with, you know, an Analog Youth ready. You've got the option card ready to go. You've got a Millenniummon in hand, as we see. You've got plenty of options. Let's see what you do.
I'm also trying to consider how much memory I passed over to you. I just punched
Yeah.
the ever-living life out of my mic. Whoopsie. I'm checking my trash here to see how many Chimera and machines I believe I had in there. I do go into a Delta.
Sure.
So I'm just like, I'll just choke to 1. Just try and leave you there. I've just try not to pass over too much memory. So I was like, I could make the big name play, but I don't know if it really would matter. So I go ahead and just pitch a Wicked God, descends, option card, and pop the Pengu. And you sit in Dale. You sit in Dale 1. And you have to just go ahead and just pass back with the training as you're just trying to find your pieces.
Yeah. Here I'm just like stuck. Like there's not a lot in my hand that allows me to do much. And that is, I think, one of the rougher things with hybrid decks is that you kind of, especially nowadays, right? With, for example, like if you're stuck on Korikakus,
Yeah.
before it would be like an Evo for 2 from Tommy, right? But now it's an Evo for 3, I believe. And if you're running another tamer for whatever reason, that's like an Evo for 4. So like, for example, if you're stuck on a Sorojo and all you got is a Korikaku, like be ready to pass turn to Evo into Kori, which is like never really a great play. So you're stuck like trying to like finagle other things at times, and that was the issue I was dealing with here, was that I just didn't have like a good memory efficient line of play.
Right. I do find a Moon Millennium here, which is pretty good. For those who, while we were kind of going over that, I was able to go ahead and do a DNA play here where I was able to Evo into a Chimera over the Delta, delete the Chimera to go ahead and play out, or to DNA from the trash with my machine in play to go into a Millennium. Millennium can then on DNA Evo can go ahead and return one of your opponent's Digimon with like one of each different level Digimon to the top of your opponent's deck to gain a memory for each card returned. So I was able to go ahead and gain back 3 memory. I actually need to see. I don't know if you can return eggs or not. I need to ask Jarrell if that also is able to be returned. It says Digimon card.
Sure.
So I can never remember if they count as that or not. But anyways,
the answer is no.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, asking
I
you
did
shall
it correctly.
receive.
I did it correctly. It's cool. So yeah, I'm able to pass turn back over. I go ahead and swing 2 checks, and now I just have a big mean Millenniummon on board who does have a redirect as well. You're sort of deciding where you want to strip sources from. And I think we're just clarifying some of the on-deletion stuff here, and then I was also clarifying the Wicked God Descends cards, where if you were to try and clear Millenniummon, I could all turns effect, or delay effect rather, of the Wicked God Descends to go ahead and play out a Moon Millennium from my hand.
Sure.
Or trash. Do find another Moon Millennium here off the analog use, which I'm like, okay, I'll take that.
So do crack a training here. We go into a Crispale, which will strip the last source off of Millennium, allow me to restand. There's a pretty... I like that combo a lot, particularly with our ability to source strip here with like kind of just going up the line. Being able to restand your level 5 and potentially do some crazy shenanigans is pretty nice.
Yeah, you were tech decking the training there for a second.
Yeah.
You're deciding for what you want to Evo into. You do have some good aggression here on board. You do have jamming on the Crispale as well. But I'm sure there's just sort of a mental of like, do I want to Evo, or do I want to like leave it suspended basically?
Go Paildra just for like additional cycle. We give the Crispale blocker until the end of your turn, and then we go ahead and well, not Digicross, we just Evo by tucking the 2 hybrids underneath the Tommy to go ahead and pop the Delta, which I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad play.
So at this point, I have a bit of a hill to climb. I do go ahead and pitch a Z Millenniummon to pop the Paildra. Like we have all these trainings to work off of here. So I Evo for 1 into the Chimeramon. Chimeramon effect, I opt to delete Millenniummon. To go ahead and delete one of your level...
Which is crazy that you can do that.
4 and 5. Yeah, before it would be deleted, I use the All-Turns effect to delay, play out a Moon Millennium. Now Moon Millennium's effect is pending, as I have to resolve... I can resolve the on-deletion of Millenniummon. I need to finish resolving Chimeramon's effect here, so I go ahead and do that. You spit out the Tommy. Tommy's on play is also pending, technically, because all the effects are resolving, and I'm turn player priority. So sorry this is a little bit messy, guys. I'm trying to work through this. This is my first time doing this sort of like thing, and there's a lot of different stuff happening. So
yeah, there's a lot.
We finished resolving Chimeramon's effect. Tommy and Moon Millennium are both pending. On deletion from Millenniummon, because I'm turn player priority, I opt to go ahead and do that first. On play, I can Digicross, so I Digicross with the Machine Dramon to give myself a redirect. His on play, I'm go ahead and I'm clarifying with Jarrell right now too, off on the side while I'm doing this. So Millenniummon on play, we'll go ahead and delete one of your Digimon. You spit out the Tommy, and then Moon Millennium on play will now activate while everything still is pending. Because the other thing too is with the Kumamons is that they're also interruptive, because when they would leave the battle area, they're able to play out a Tamer.
Sure.
Although I think we forgot to trash cards in your hand here, it looks like. Because Moon Millennium should have on-played trash. I didn't see if you trash cards in your hand or not. Oh, you're doing it now?
Yeah, we're doing it now.
Yeah, you're doing it now. Yeah. And that's me waving, saying sorry for the sort of kind of crazy sequencing. It was just a lot going off, and it was early days learning the decks. So we get there though. Everything is properly resolved in the order, or well, at the end of the day, as it would have been. And we do trash security as well because we popped a tamer. And just like that, I have a pretty gross board state.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, sir.
Millenniummon cannot swing. Neither can Moon Millennium because they were both just played this turn. The Chimera is able to swing if I wanted him to. But I opt not to. I go ahead and just play a Ghazi. I just figure I'll just go ahead and whiteboard here. Just make sure that I have plenty of stuff on board to potentially punish with. And I'm just double checking it, and I'm like, wait, I grabbed 2. So I grabbed the Millenniummon as well.
And that's a pretty scary board state. I have quite the hill to climb. And I'm going to try to do my very, very bestest here to do something. But in all honesty, I think the writing's on the wall there. We Sora just to stall out. Realistically, I don't think it really does a lot. But I was like, well, let's see. Maybe I get lucky.
Yeah, because I could be missing like the right pieces in hand. Like I could be missing a 4 and a 6. I may not be able to do anything. You also get rid of my blocker and my redirect, which is spooky. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to get around this. I do go into a Machine Dramon, which lets me de-digivolve, so I go ahead and send it back down into a Tommy. I am now able to swing because I have a source. I do hit a Sora Joe, and then I hit a Strabi because I did have Sec +1, and then I go into a Moon Millennium or a Z Millenniummon, and then go ahead and overclock to swing for game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And so there's a little bit sort of a taste of what Millenniummon can do, and it's a taste of what Blue Hybrid can do. Blue Hybrid, admittedly, your stuff is super scary. It is super scary. I think the matchup is decent for me because I don't mind being deleted because I can kind of like benefit off of that. And also like my sources being stripped, it's fine if they're in trash because oftentimes I don't necessarily always need them. Because I have so many level 7s that I can keep evoing over. Like I think if you hit like a level 6 and you're just kind of stuck there, like Lord Knight for example, that can be rough.
Yeah,
that can be really rough.
No, but I mean I think well played by you too. I mean, I know you said it's like a little messy, but I mean still like being able to remember and sequence all that, and like you said, I think a very, very good showing of like the like toolboxy power of Millenni. You know, it can do a lot of different things. It can do a lot of good board interaction, tamer control, you know, also being able to trash security if things are deleted is also a very, very scary mechanic. So, you know, like pretty darn good showing. So shout out to you.
Thank you, sir. Shout out to you for being sexy. That's right.
This is
Digi After Dark. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Look forward to more match play as we kind of get more pieces into the set and build more decks. We've got a few more to showcase for sure. And yeah, hopefully we catch you on that next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.